Guys, there is an update on Relevel. Relevel has launched two new tests in the domain of business analyst role and data analyst role. They have some amazing companies on board with packages up to 22 LPA. You have to sign up on the platform to check out all the companies like Cred, Upgrad, Razorpay, Yatra, etc. that are hiring from Relevel. You can even try out the free sample papers to access your skills for the test. You just need to score 150 marks in the first phase to qualify for the second phase, and after the second phase a 700 plus score lands you with interview, job opportunities and some amazing re-level swags. There is no age or experience limit for eligibility. If you are 18 plus and you have your laptop, then you are eligible for this re-level test. Their complete hiring is free and the complete hiring will take place in 15 days. So if you want to know more, the links are in the description box.
Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Guys, in this video, I will be discussing the most commonly asked software engineering interview questions. Guys, if you have your interview near and you know that this subject will be getting asked in the interview, then you do not have to study the entire subject, but you can only study the questions that I will be discussing in this video. And guys, believe me, it will be really helpful for you. And guys, not only for software engineering, I have made different types of videos for different subjects. That is Python interview questions I have discussed, machine learning interview questions I have discussed, OOPS, DBMS, Java, all these type of interview questions I have discussed, and I have compiled them into a single playlist, that is important interview subject. So make sure that if you have your interview near, then after watching this video, you watch all those videos that I have made in this playlist, and these videos will be really helpful for you while you are preparing for your interviews. And guys, if you want to know that how you have to explain your project in an interview, for that also I have made a video that is present in this playlist. So kindly watch all the videos in this playlist for your better understanding. So guys, if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe it as well as join my Telegram group also. I am posting regular updates on different companies which are hiring as well as the questions which are getting asked in them. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting a video, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so the first question of this video is, what is SDLC? So guys, whenever this type of question is asked, first you will have to tell the full form of SDLC. So here SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. It defines the step-by-step approach for development of software. Now whenever we have to develop a software, now there is a step-by-step approach that we have to follow. So while developing the software, what all things we require? There is a phase of requirement analysis, that what all things we require, how our software will be designed, how it will be developed, how it will be tested, and in the end, once the product is made, then how will we maintain this software. So all these are the part of software development life cycle. So guys, I hope this question is clear to you. You must know this definition. This definition will be definitely asked you in an interview. Okay, next is again a very common question you must have heard. What is a black box testing and what is a white box testing? So first of all, black box testing. So black box testing involves testing the application without the knowledge of the internal structure or code implementation. So for example, let's just see. Now we have a calculator. We want that two numbers should be added. So we are entering 2 and then plus then 2. So we are getting the output as 4. So this is what a black box testing is. We are inputting our values and we are getting an output. We do not know that how these values are getting added or what is the logic behind the program that is written inside the calculator. So we just give the input and we get the desired output, and if the desired output matches our expectation, then the program is running perfectly fine. So this is known as black box testing. Now testers would only bother about the functionality of the software in the black box testing rather than the data flow or the code execution in the backend. So same thing, it is saying that we only want our answer by giving the input. So a tester does not know that what is going behind, and in black box, this is what black box testing is. So I hope this is clear to you. Next is white box testing. So white box testing is opposite of black box testing. First of all, it is testing is the application with the knowledge of the internal structure and the code implementation. This testing is generally performed by a developer who has written the code in the form of unit test. Okay, so what is white box testing? So again, I am inputting some values. I want the addition. Now I should also know that how that particular code is getting implemented, that how is the data flow going on, that with the numbers that we have entered, where they are going and how the addition is taking place. So all these things, if we know, then we are doing a white box testing, and it is generally performed by the developer who has written the entire code. So I hope these black box and white box testing are clear to you. Next question is, what are functional and non-functional requirements? So functional requirements are the features that a developed software product is expected to perform. For example, having a payment option at an e-commerce website. So functional requirement means that what we expect our software to perform. Like we all are using e-commerce website, there are categories, there are many categories, there are payment options, there are gift card options. So all these are the functional requirements that we want all these things in our software. But what are non-functional requirements? Non-functional requirements measure the usability of the application, such as user interface look and feel, security, performance, interpolation, reliability. So all this comes under the non-functional requirements. The security and performance and how the software will look like. So these are non-functional requirements. So I hope the main difference between functional requirement and non-functional requirements are clear to you. Okay. Next is explain different types of SDLC models. So guys, there are many types of software development lifecycle models which are present in software engineering. You must have heard about these software while you were doing your engineering. So guys, I am giving this link in the description box. Kindly visit this link, and in this link every software development lifecycle model has been described in detail, the advantages, disadvantages of that model, and what was the next new model that is coming up. So all these things you must know, and every software development lifecycle model you must know. So kindly visit this link and read it on the Google. So I hope this question is clear to you. Next is, what is software re-engineering? So what is re-engineering? It is a process of software development. Again, everything that we are studying in software engineering will be a process of software development, which is done to improve the maintainability of the software system. So this is the, you can see the last phase of software development, that is maintainability. So software re-engineering is the process that helps us in building the maintainability of the code, or you can say maintainability of the software. So this comes in the last phase of the software development life cycle. Okay, the next question is, what is verification and what is validation? So as many of you get confused whenever the interviewer asks you this, that what is verification in software engineering and what is validation in software engineering. So here verification is a term that refers to the set of activities which ensures that software implements a specific function. So again, verification is done so that we can verify that the software that we have developed is performing the desired function. Again, if we have built a calculator, we want that it should be able to add number, subtract number, divide number, multiply number. So all these things, when we will test it, it is the form of verification. It means that we are verifying that the software that we have built performs the basic functionality for which it was meant to be. So I hope verification is clear to you. Next is validation. Validation refers to the set of activities which ensures that the software that we have built are according to the need of client. So again, verification is done for the functionality that we have provided in the software, but validation means that the software we have developed is in accordance with the client, that the client has expected us to build. So again, I hope the difference is clear to you. Verification is done on the functionality, but validation is done on the needs of the client. So I hope this question is clear to you. Next question is, what are the merits of the increment model? So again, there are different types of SDLC models that are present. Now there are certain advantages of some models and there are certain disadvantages of some model. But what are the merits of incremental model? This question is very much asked in an interview. So again, the merits of the increment model are, first of all, the incremental model can be accepted when there is less number of people. So if we have building a small software in which only you can say a team of 10 to 50 people are there in building that software, then we can use the incremental model, and it is perfectly fit for the small size projects. Next is, for a minimal period, at least the core products can be delivered to the user. So not the entire product, but the main parts of the main functions of the product can be delivered to the user with the help of this incremental model. So I hope these advantages of incremental model are clear to you. Now the last question of this video is, so I have discussed the 8 questions. Now if you want more such questions on more or any subject that I have not covered till now, then again you can like this video and comment down that for which particular subject you want the most commonly asked questions in an interview, then I will surely make a video for the same. So I hope, now the question, let's just discuss first, distinguish between alpha and beta testing. So again, I will give this link in the description box. You can visit the Geeks for Geeks website for reading this article. They have explained it very precisely that what is the major difference between alpha and beta testing. So I hope all the questions that we have discussed in this video, you will prepare them very well, because there are large amount of chances that whenever a software development questions are asked in an interview, 2 out of 3 4 questions will be asked from these questions that I have discussed with you. So guys, this was it for this video. If you want more such subjects, then again comment down that you want these type of videos. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Keep showing your support by subscribing this channel. Thank you.